Call of Duty Mobile 3. Now, you clicked on this video and you were probably very confused because we don't even have a Call of Duty Mobile 2 yet. Why the heck are we talking about COD Mobile 3? Well, you know, a lot of people might say a game like Warzone Mobile is technically COD Mobile 2. Like, it's a newer game, it's got a lot of the same content as COD Mobile, but in my personal opinion, it's not a very good game. I talked about that in a recent video. You can watch it if you want, but like, the game is very unoptimized, doesn't run on most devices, got tons of bugs and glitches all over the place, and it's not deserving of being called a COD Mobile 2. What I wanted to do in today's video is talk about two different games. Two games that are still in the exploratory phase by Activision, but if things go right for these games, they might come out in the future and we might have a Call of Duty Mobile 2 and a Call of Duty Mobile 3 for iOS and Android devices. They're probably not going to be called COD Mobile 2 and COD Mobile 3 because we already probably have the real names of these games. These games are called Call of Duty Sniper and Call of Duty Zombies Defender, and it's been very interesting over the past couple of days. Let's talk about that. So, Charlie Intel tweeted a few days ago that Activision has been running ads on Facebook and Instagram to players saying, hey, you know, you can download this game, Call of Duty Sniper or Call of Duty Zombies Defender, and then when people would click the download link, it would just go to a survey, and these players would be asked if they would be interested in a game like this. Obviously, a lot of us watching this video are probably going to say no. We're not interested in a game like that because they want to see a real game like Call of Duty Mobile. They don't want to have some random sniper game for mobile devices. But depending on how many people click yes, who clicked on the ad, that might determine whether or not one or both of these games will come to mobile devices. It all depends on who is being served this ad. If a bunch of 12-year-old kids on Instagram are being served this ad, hey, you want to play Call of Duty Sniper, and they all click yes, Activision is going to clearly see a market for that game, and they might potentially pursue development of it. It's also entirely possible that they're already developing both of those games. We have no idea. I haven't seen any information about that, but you never really know with that type of thing. They do a lot of things under the radar, and it's entirely possible that they might be past just an exploratory phase. Now, the interesting thing is both of those artwork that you see for Call of Duty Sniper and Call of Duty Zombies Defender isn't even created by a real person. This artwork is AI generated, and that is an entirely different thing on its own. It's crazy to me that Activision would just use AI to create art like that, but to be fair, over the past year or so, they have been more outspoken saying that they have used AI in some of their other games. So I guess it's not the craziest thing in the entire world. It's just shocking that they would do that for the first images of a potential new game. I don't really know. It's very interesting. But what I wanted to do in today's video is talk about Call of Duty Sniper and Call of Duty Zombies Defender. If these games come out, which it's very possible they never come out and it's just an exploratory thing, let's talk about what the heck these games could potentially be. Because both of these games could exist in a market that needs them for mobile devices. We already have a ton of different sniper games for mobile devices, and in my personal opinion, none of them are that great. They're okay, you know, if you could put it on a tier list. Maybe the best one is an A tier, but probably most of them are B and C tier games. They're not really that good compared to most other first-person shooters for mobile devices. What these games are is they're basically either online or offline. You have some set of missions. You might have side quests and stuff like that where, you know, you're going to have a couple of different people scattered around the map. You need to get 3 headshots. You need to kill the people in 20 seconds or less, and then you can get up to 3 stars and complete the mission, then go to the next one. You got to upgrade your weapons. You got to put better and better attachments. If you use an underpowered weapon for a mission, it's going to say, hey, you need to upgrade your weapon, or you could go into it and make things more difficult. You might have tanks. You might have other cool things in it, but overall, these games are just simple mission-based sniper games. So if we don't have great sniper games for mobile devices, if Call of Duty Mobile wants to jump into this market, a market where some of these games have over 500 million downloads, they could make a really, really cool mobile game. I have no doubt about that. Obviously, they don't want to go the route of Warzone Mobile and make a terrible game, but if they want to have a game that's as optimized as Call of Duty Mobile, that's as fun as Call of Duty Mobile, they could do something really cool. And people that are watching this video that are like, that's stupid, they might actually really enjoy a game like that if it's made the right way. If they had missions that were based off of the Black Ops storyline or the Modern Warfare storyline or some combination of all the different past Call of Duty games, you had like, you know, the before time of like Modern Warfare 1 or whatever or something like that. Like in things that you never even saw before in past Call of Duty games. If they wanted to like add that into the missions, so like you got to see how certain characters in the story got to where they are, that could be really cool, you know? You could entirely expand the whole Call of Duty universe and the whole different stories and all that type of stuff. I don't really know. You guys get what I'm talking about, right? Well, they could do something like that. They could also add a lot more different types of game modes into a Call of Duty sniper game. Like, they don't have to have it only mission-based. They could potentially add multiplayer games where it's sniper only. Imagine if they added every single sniper that ever existed in Call of Duty, right? They added every single one from Advanced Warfare to World at War, all different types of Call of Duty games, and it was purely sniper only, where you had to play, where you needed to get those quick scopes, and it was like crazy competitive matches. Something like that could be really cool as well, because good luck trying to create a public match and everybody uses a sniper. You're going to always have one person that takes out an assault rifle and ruins the fun for everybody. If they had it purely sniper only, that might be interesting. I don't know. Something like that could be cool as well. There's a lot more, you know, things that they could do with like weapon customization. Maybe they want to expand on adding even more in-depth attachments to all the weapons that already exist, and basically kind of just make a better sniper game that already exists on mobile devices. Take a look at all the ones that already exist and just add all of the best elements from the different games, blend it all into one, and then just make everything better with better graphics, cooler storylines, better missions, things that are actually engaging, that people over the age of 10 would actually want to play. Now let's talk about Call of Duty Zombies Defender, because that's the other game that could potentially come out. I would almost go as far to say that it might be more likely, because everybody likes a good zombies game, right? And to be fair, we don't really have that great of zombies games for mobile devices right now in 2025. We did have good zombies games, you know, about 10 years ago for mobile devices, but it's kind of like a dying genre, and there's not really many new zombies games that are coming out. Call of Duty could revive that whole thing and make a dedicated zombies game for mobile devices that you could play both online and offline. I think offline's a really big key there. That would be a great added feature, because sometimes you're going to be playing your phone and you're not going to be, you know, connected to the internet. That could be great. I don't know if that's something that they would do. It doesn't seem like that's something Activision would want to do, but it could be a really cool thing. Maybe they could have an entire game dedicated to having all of the different zombies, stories, and missions, and all that type of stuff from every Call of Duty game, right? Call of Duty Sniper can be all of the snipers from Call of Duty games. Call of Duty Zombies can be every different zombies thing from past Call of Duty games. They might not want to add all of it all at once. Over time, a new update might add, you know, new things from Modern Warfare 3 or Call of Duty, you know, World at War. I don't know, just all these different games. They could add all of the different zombie stuff, and it could be really, really cool. They could add even new things to the whole zombies genre. They could add things that you don't see in other Call of Duty games, and maybe add cooler bosses, maybe add some of the stuff that you would see in Call of Duty Online. You know, that Chinese game that had the most ridiculous bosses you would ever see in a Call of Duty game? Something like that could be added to the mobile game. Who really knows? The sky's the limit with something like that. And I just think it would be really cool if we could have a good zombies game for mobile devices. I know a lot of people out there are like, this is stupid. I just want COD Mobile 2. But we already have Call of Duty Mobile. It's still extremely successful, and I don't think that game is going away anytime soon. We have no information that they're going to be making a sequel for that game. I think that game is going to exist for quite a few more years, considering how frequently it's getting updates. In the meantime, Activision might want to add a sniper game and a zombies game to kind of fill the void that players are missing when they're playing games like Call of Duty Mobile and Call of Duty Warzone Mobile. To be fair, Warzone Mobile is like, you know, not filling any void, but that's besides the point. I just think it would be really cool, and I think people need to keep an open perspective on this type of thing. I know we have to be optimistic because it's entirely possible Activision is going to completely fail at a game like this. It might suck, and it might be a game that only an 8-year-old would enjoy, and I really hope that's not the case. You could have a really, really cool snipers game and a really, really cool zombies game if you make it right, and everybody watching this video who likes Call of Duty would like something like that if they did it right. So I don't think anybody watching this video should immediately discredit these two games. If you're served the ad on Facebook and Instagram, if they're still running the ad, then you might want to click yes. I mean, hey, it's all up to you. You can click no if you want, but maybe click yes just to see if Activision might potentially develop something like that. It's still in that exploratory phase, right? And there's no information that this is just like a completely fake thing. This is by Activision. It is a survey that players might be interested in something like that. If you click yes, then they might actually explore more into that type of thing. And maybe you could even participate in like an early alpha test or a beta test and kind of see pretty early on what something like that would look like. Then you could give feedback. You could probably help the overall development process of a game like that. That's like an ideal situation. I know it's not that likely, and most likely what would end up happening is both of these games are never going to come out. I'm just going to be completely real with you guys. I would say it's probably like an 80% chance that they're not going to come out. But there is that 20% chance that they could, and I wanted to talk about that because that's a heck of a lot more of a better chance than a sequel to Call of Duty Mobile being announced tomorrow, all right? It's not going to happen. I could bet money on that, but that's not going to just be randomly announced. So, yeah, you guys can let me know what you guys think about both of these games. Please keep that open perspective. As I said, if it was an ideal game, what would you think about it? Would you like it? Would you not? Would you just want all of this stuff added to Call of Duty Mobile? The big problem is if they added all of this stuff to Call of Duty Mobile, then COD Mobile would be a massive game. I mean, it's already a pretty big game, gigabyte-wise. Imagine how big that game would be if they added all of that sniper stuff and then all of that zombie stuff into the game. It would be a massive game that most people wouldn't even be able to play. So maybe it's better to split it up into different games until our phones are more powerful enough, they have bigger storage, and it can run on phones, right? So, I don't know. You guys can let me know what you guys think about that, but I just wanted to talk about that today. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for some more mobile gaming content and mobile gaming news like this. Thank you all so much, guys, and I will see you all in the next episode.